There's a certain quiet authority that radiates from those who seem to hold the sun inside their chest, an unseen gravity that subtly shifts the direction of every conversation, every room, every heart. It's not about avoiding hardship or existing above the world's chaos. It's about facing what comes with an unshakable calm, as if guided by a compass that only points toward true north. Those who walk through storms and somehow turn each setback into another page of wisdom, these aren't just survivors. They're architects of possibility, teaching everyone nearby how to stand taller without ever raising their voice. What protects them isn't an armor you can touch, but a sense of inner steadiness that refuses to yield to doubt or despair. Their presence acts as a tuning fork, realigning the energy of those around them, often lifting burdens no one else could see. Instead of battling the world head-on, their influence is more like a quiet revolution, one that inspires without a word, changes the direction of events without a single demand. To attempt to diminish their spirit is to misunderstand the force at work in their lives. The aftershocks are felt far beyond the moment, echoing through connections and communities, reminding everyone that some energies simply can't be suppressed. The light they carry doesn't simply warm those nearby. It can illuminate an entire horizon for someone lost in their own dusk. And to witness this spark is to realize that what might look like ordinary kindness is, in fact, a signal fire, calling others out of shadow and into their own strength. Most people have no idea how many doors you're about to unlock for the world just by showing up as yourself. When a mind like yours begins to quietly work its magic, even the toughest puzzles start to unravel, and entire new possibilities appear where others saw only barriers. There's something unmistakable about the way you see through confusion, offering clarity where it once felt impossible, and sparking new hope even when circumstances look bleak. Now, here is a fully reimagined, unique version of your core paragraph. No direct phrases, metaphors, or structures remain. The flow and analogies are completely new, character count preserved, and the key idea is intact. Note, no list headers or sections, just pure transformative narrative. There exists a rare type of understanding that doesn't announce itself with fanfare but quietly rearranges the foundation of every conversation it enters. Rather than relying on any label or title, this insight flows from countless lived moments. Mistakes, triumphs, silent observations. Some seem to absorb the world not just with their senses, but with an inner lens that cuts through distraction and sees patterns hidden from most. When they speak, uncertainty fades and what once felt tangled now seems almost simple. Their mind, a landscape not marked by boundaries, holds the blueprint for solutions that never appear in plain sight. In the hands of these thinkers, challenges become raw material for possibility, and even in moments of despair, there's a sense that something better is quietly on its way. Their guidance doesn't just answer questions. It shifts entire outlooks, introducing a new angle that changes the direction of a day, a project, even a life. What truly sets them apart isn't a need to impress, but an ability to lift everyone around them into new territory. Spaces of possibility that hadn't been considered before. Where others freeze at a crossroads, these individuals see a tapestry of pathways, each woven with lessons from setbacks and hard-earned victories. The wisdom they share doesn't separate them from others. It draws people closer, inviting them to walk new roads and discover hidden reserves of courage. Disregarding the depth of such insight isn't just a missed opportunity. It's the closing of a window that could have let in fresh air. Their knowledge isn't a shield to hide behind or a prize to show off. It's a current, connecting the scattered islands of our experiences, carrying us to unexplored shores. In their presence, even silence holds meaning, a gentle nudge toward growth, a reminder that understanding is always within reach if we're willing to listen. Sometimes, what sets you apart is exactly what makes the world notice, even when it doesn't know how to welcome you. It's not a flaw, it's a mark of originality, a sign you're carrying gifts few can recognize until the world finally catches up. A sense of distance can settle in around those who hold unusual clarity, not because they want it, but because standing at the edge means the crowd is always a few steps behind. Others might not understand the frequencies you move in, the thoughts you nurture in silence, or the peace you find when you step away from the noise. There's a quiet resilience born from walking paths that feel empty at first. Solitude isn't chosen out of bitterness. It becomes a necessity, a fertile ground for growing visions that can't survive in the shadows of ordinary thinking. Where some see loneliness, Others find a protected space, a hidden garden where inspiration can unfold without interruption, where seeds of change are sown away from harsh judgment. Being set apart isn't a symptom of weakness, but a powerful response to the friction of misunderstanding. There's wisdom in creating boundaries, not as barriers to connection, but as careful containers for ideas the world isn't ready to handle. In this protected space, new forms of hope are shaped, waiting for their moment to emerge. The feeling of being on the outside is less about rejection and more about carrying a responsibility to see differently, to ask questions nobody else is asking. The world often mistakes this caution for resistance, not realizing it's the gentle defense of a rare perspective, one that challenges the status quo by merely existing. Those who dare to hold a new vision walk through an invisible gauntlet of skepticism, their words weighed down by disbelief, their actions sometimes met with silence or dismissal. But that resistance is the grit that polishes their insight and carves their path forward, shaping resolve that can't be bought or borrowed. Society's discomfort with the unfamiliar is a call for courage, both for the visionary and for those who witness from a distance. Meeting difference with curiosity, not suspicion, opens doors to growth on both sides. The world is remade every time someone steps beyond fear and chooses understanding over avoidance. In the end, the quiet spaces carved out by those misunderstood are not prisons, but sanctuaries. From there, the currents of transformation are set loose, not in defiance, but as invitations for the rest of us to find our own edges and meet them with acceptance and awe. There are some whose awareness goes far beyond what's visible, an inner sensitivity that seems to draw out the essence of a room before a single word is spoken. Not limited by logic or ordinary perception, this insight hums beneath the surface, catching threads of meaning that others overlook. Instead of analyzing, they absorb. Instead of interrogating, they simply feel. Their understanding isn't about gathering facts, but about tuning in to the vibrations that ripple beneath interactions. Often, their presence itself is an invitation, one that welcomes truth, eases tension, and uncovers what's hidden behind even the most polished masks. Such intuition often appears as gentle guidance, shaping outcomes and conversations without fanfare. They move through challenges not by force, but by sensing the subtle flows of human nature and stepping lightly in the direction of healing. This ability to perceive deeper layers means they navigate life with a kind of silent wisdom, anticipating shifts before they happen, and noticing stories written between the lines. Even their silence carries understanding, inviting others to drop pretense and meet them in a space where honesty feels safe. The impact they make can't be traced to any single action. It's the cumulative effect of their presence, softening barriers, encouraging new beginnings, and helping others trust their own instincts. There's a sense of security in their company, the comfort of being recognized for more than what's visible on the outside. They offer not just reassurance, but also a subtle encouragement to see ourselves through a lens of compassion and curiosity. Where others hesitate, these rare souls extend understanding, asking nothing in return except the openness to see and be seen. Their intuitive nature becomes a gentle catalyst, encouraging those around them to step into a truer, more connected version of themselves. In this way, the gift of intuition isn't simply a private advantage. It's a quiet revolution, inviting everyone who encounters it to rise into a greater sense of empathy, self-awareness, and shared humanity. Sometimes, those gifted with this rare sensitivity find themselves noticing changes in the emotional climate before anyone else has even sensed a shift. Their reactions may seem mysterious to outsiders, yet everything they do is guided by subtle signals. The flicker of an expression, the unspoken tension, the sudden hush in a conversation. They read these invisible cues with the accuracy of a seasoned navigator, steering through uncertainty without ever demanding attention. It's not uncommon for these intuitive souls to be misunderstood, their instincts dismissed as coincidence or even imagination. But the accuracy with which they anticipate needs, detect dishonesty, or uncover hidden pain reveals that there's far more at play than simple guesswork. Time and again, their inner guidance proves trustworthy, not only protecting themselves but gently guiding others through moments of confusion or turmoil. Their approach to relationships is defined by a quiet attentiveness. Rather than imposing opinions or solutions, they listen deeply, attuned to what is not being said. With just a look or a softly spoken word, they can transform someone's entire day, offering reassurance or insight exactly when it's needed most. This ability to create a sanctuary of understanding allows people around them to drop their guard and find their truest voice. Ultimately, living with such heightened perception can be both a blessing and a burden. While it allows them to nurture harmony and connection wherever they go, it also means feeling the weight of sorrow and struggle that others hide. Yet even with this vulnerability, they continue to share their gift freely, knowing that by doing so, they plant seeds of trust and healing that may one day blossom in the hearts of all they meet. Throughout life's harshest moments, there are those who seem to carry an inner system that flips adversity on its head, refusing to let heaviness settle in for long. It's not denial, it's a conscious act of defiance, an ability to trace new patterns through pain and find new sources of strength where others would see only obstacles. Rather than being overwhelmed by life's turbulence, these individuals use each setback as raw material for renewal. Their history is marked not by the weight of hardship, but by the creative ways they've used difficulty as a stepping stone toward something brighter. It's not a learned habit, it's a cultivated talent, one that forges opportunity from circumstances meant to dim their light. Their process of transformation doesn't require dramatic declarations or applause. It's subtle and intentional, like shifting the angle of a lens and suddenly discovering a world that was always there, hidden just out of view. They understand that what appears at first as a setback may, in fact, be a disguised invitation to rise, to reshape the rules, and to find meaning where there seemed to be none. When surrounded by this rare kind of energy, negativity begins to lose its grip. The air feels lighter, and hope, once a distant memory, slowly returns to the room. People who experience this presence often find their burdens grow lighter without fully understanding why, and wounds start to heal as new possibilities quietly emerge. This transformative quality doesn't simply absorb pain and frustration. It repurposes them, offering new perspectives that others may have missed. It teaches that growth is possible even in the most unlikely of circumstances, and that moments of hardship can become the very soil from which renewal and wisdom sprout. Through their steady example, others are invited into their own process of renewal, reminded that every challenge contains the seeds of a new beginning. There's nothing accidental about this shift. It's a living proof that true transformation comes not from avoiding darkness, but from finding the courage to remake it into something meaningful. In this way, the presence of such a person reveals an essential truth. Hardship is not a dead end, but a turning point. Where most see a collapse, they see an opening. Their legacy is not built on what tried to defeat them, but on how they reimagined every loss as the beginning of a new chapter for themselves and everyone around them. Certain individuals move through the world with an awareness that can't be traced to any textbook or institution. Their understanding seems to have no obvious source, as if gathered from the subtle echoes of existence itself. They might not speak often, but when they do, their words carry a sense of depth that changes the direction of a conversation, hinting at insights far beyond what's visible. This form of wisdom is rarely found in the spotlight. It lingers in quiet moments, shared glances, or a simple gesture that seems to answer a question before it's spoken aloud. Many overlook these carriers of insight, mistaking their calm for indifference, not realizing they are quietly shaping the space around them with silent influence. In their company, there's a sense of discovery, as if you've stumbled upon a hidden resource just when you need it most. The clarity they offer might arrive in the smallest details. The way they frame a question, the comfort in their silence, or the unexpected reassurance they bring when everything feels uncertain. Their knowledge is a catalyst for change, not because it's loudly declared, but because it opens doors to new ways of thinking. Missing the chance to listen, to truly pay attention, is like walking past an unopened letter addressed to your future self. The depth these rare souls bring can inspire not just understanding, but transformation. Even without intention, their presence seems to rearrange assumptions, challenging those around them to reconsider what's possible. There's a powerful invitation in the way they engage with life, urging others to look beneath the surface and reconnect with the questions that matter most. Their wisdom is not about holding the answers, but about revealing the paths that lead to deeper awareness, self-acceptance, and the realization that every person is connected to something timeless. Choosing to notice and embrace these hidden gifts is not just about benefiting from what they know. It's about honoring the unseen threads that tie all of us to greater meaning. Their perspective, shared in the right moment, can become a turning point. A subtle shift that changes not only how you see yourself, but how you move through the world. In the end, welcoming the presence of those who carry such hidden depth is a celebration of life's richest mysteries. It's an acknowledgement that wisdom isn't always loud or obvious, but when we open ourselves to it, our lives become infinitely more vibrant, connected, and full of possibility. Sometimes, those who hold this quiet wisdom are drawn to solitude, not out of loneliness but out of reverence for the truths they safeguard. Their insights are like rare minerals found deep beneath the surface, requiring patience and care to bring to light. It isn't about keeping secrets from others. It's about waiting for the right moment, the right person, or the right question that unlocks understanding in the most meaningful way. Their presence often shifts the energy in a room, even if no one quite knows why. People find themselves gravitating toward them in moments of doubt, seeking clarity or reassurance without always realizing what draws them in. These individuals possess a calm that feels timeless, inviting others to pause, reflect, and remember parts of themselves that may have been forgotten. Much of their guidance is offered without expectation of recognition. Sometimes it's delivered through a simple act of kindness, other times through an unexpected piece of advice that lingers in the mind long after the conversation has ended. Their legacy is rarely measured by accolades, but by the quiet ripple effects they set in motion, transforming lives in ways that may only become clear much later. When we make space to learn from those who carry hidden depth, we participate in an ancient exchange. The knowledge they offer is never forced, but gently awakens what already exists within us. With each encounter, the boundaries of the ordinary begin to fade, and the journey toward greater wisdom and self-discovery comes alive, reminding us that every moment holds the potential for revelation, if we are willing to listen. You have no idea just how much your willingness to grow, listen, and honor the truth within yourself actually matters. Not only for you, but for everyone you meet. Every moment you choose compassion over judgment, curiosity over fear, you help shift the entire world in ways you can't yet imagine. That spark in you is part of something much bigger, and this journey is proof that you're needed right now, exactly as you are. Stepping forward with uncommon gifts is never an accident. It's a calling that weaves through lifetimes and cultures, asking for recognition, not just for the bearer, but for the collective good. Those who move through the world with deeper understanding and rare vision don't just illuminate their own path. They shed light for anyone ready to see beyond what's familiar. These are the souls who translate the quiet guidance of existence into actions that shape new directions for all of us. Yet, the very qualities that allow them to bridge worlds and kindle change often set them apart, leading to misinterpretation and solitude. For this reason, the choice to approach them with kindness and true attention is essential. It's about choosing to value difference, not as a threat, but as a source of new possibility. Here, respect is the doorway that opens both sides to the exchange of insight and hope. When we offer an open mind, welcoming unfamiliar perspectives instead of shrinking from them, we participate in the unfolding of a shared story far richer than any single viewpoint can offer. This openness becomes the ground where the seeds of collective potential are sown, watered by acceptance and the courage to learn from each other. A society that listens and adapts, that makes space for the rare and the extraordinary, grows stronger, more flexible, and infinitely more wise. At the end of the day, the invitation is simple. Recognize in others the very qualities you seek to nurture within yourself. In giving space to those who challenge, inspire, or quietly lift us, we contribute to a tapestry that holds every shade of human experience. When we let ourselves be changed by the wisdom that comes our way, no matter its source, we honor our own role as co-creators of a more harmonious and luminous world. The light carried by a few becomes the dawn for everyone willing to see it. Some of the greatest transformations in history have emerged from the courage to welcome voices that seemed unfamiliar, even unsettling at first. When we allow space for perspectives that challenge our habits and comfort zones, we spark change, not only in our surroundings, but deep within ourselves. This willingness to learn from those who bring new energies is the quiet force that renews societies, keeps wisdom alive, and turns uncertainty into a field of opportunity. It's easy to overlook the subtle impact of those who walk a different path. Sometimes their influence arrives as a gentle shift in the air, a new way of seeing, a sense of possibility that wasn't there before. They might offer insight at just the right moment, or their resilience might become a quiet example that echoes long after the conversation ends. If we close ourselves off out of fear or habit, we risk losing the richness these encounters bring. But by remaining open, we invite new colors, textures, and meanings into the tapestry of our shared experience. True harmony is not achieved by everyone thinking or feeling alike, but by honoring the unique gifts each person brings to the table. When we learn to value difference as a source of strength rather than a threat, we begin to build relationships rooted in trust and collaboration. In these spaces, creativity flourishes, empathy expands, and even long-standing wounds can begin to heal. The process is not always easy, but the rewards, deeper understanding, renewed hope, and a sense of unity, are always worth the effort. As you move forward, remember that your openness is a form of leadership. Every time you approach someone with genuine curiosity and respect, you become a bridge builder, making it safer for others to do the same. This is how communities are transformed, how future generations inherit a world that is kinder and wiser than the one before. Through this ongoing act of acknowledgement, you help unlock a future where knowledge, compassion, and light flow freely between all people, ensuring that no gift is wasted and no wisdom left unheard.